last text from Cruz just minutes before shots rang out. Friday on an all-new Dr. Phil, they rescued a homeless woman.
I had been living in a field.
But after taking her in, she turned them in.
Calling protective services really is a sign of gratitude. You've neglected your children.
You said they also neglected you. She wasn't waiting on you enough?
My children are loved. You make fun of them when they cry. Never. You are a liar. You are out of bounds.
That's Friday.
I had some experiences with Nicholas Cruz in middle school. I just remember that he was a very angry kid who cursed a lot. In 7th grade, I was eating lunch in the cafeteria. He threw an apple really hard in my back, which knocked the wind out of me. I knew he was twisted. I was a peer counselor, and I was assigned to tutor him. I remember that he was staring at my breasts. A couple weeks after that, I was standing outside, and he came up to me, and he said, "Can I have sex with you?" And I said, "No," and he walked away. I know that he was a very troubled kid. He had a lot of issues, both internal and external, but that doesn't excuse his actions.
Those who know the accused school shooter, Nicholas Cruz, say they are not surprised he is in custody, given what they say was a dangerous history of violence and instability. Yet, how can you really predict when someone will turn threats into action when there really is no singular cause for someone who does something like this? Yes, there were signs that some people saw, but correlation doesn't mean causation. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. We can talk about after the fact all the things that Nicholas Cruz exhibited, all the behavior that he exhibited, where people say, wow, when you see that, anyone could predict what he was going to do. No, you see that after the fact, but you assemble all these behaviors, these comments, these internet posts, and there are a million other kids that have posted and said the same things that have never done anything violent. And these young men often have two personas. One that they present to the people they're around and they live with, and another that they present when they're out in the world. And that's exactly what happened here. We see him bragging on the internet about cruelty to animals and flashing guns. Was he that way at all in your home?
No, not at all.
Did you have animals?
Absolutely.
Any cruelty on his part to those? Would you have tolerated that?
Absolutely not.
Did anyone at the school ever call you and say, by the way, this young man's bragging about torturing animals and flashing guns and things like that?
No, not at all. That would have been a deal breaker right there. No.
If somebody had told you about this, what would you have done?
I don't believe we would have let him move in our home.
You wouldn't have lived. Did he have his own room?
Yes, sir.
Did you apply the rules of the house to him?
Absolutely.
How did he react?
He abided by every rule to the T.
Was he disrespectful to either one of you?
Never.
Did he buck your authority?
Not at all.
No.
Did he show anger and bitterness if you told him he had to clean up, do this, do that?
No, it was the exact opposite. If he, if he left his glass on the coffee table or something like that, and we said, hey, you need to put that in the sink or put it in the dishwasher, he was very apologetic. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, sorry.
You say that he was immature in some respects.
Naive.
Yeah,
Very naive.
For example, what do you mean naive?
When he moved in, he would come out of his room and ask if there was food. And I looked at him, I go, we have